And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella, based on the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 3 ugly, mean stepsisters named Olive, Nina, and Esme. Olive, Nina, and Esme made Cinderella do all the chores. "Sweep the floors, wash the dishes," said Olive, Nina, and Esme. One day, the king of Onlyville's messenger said, hear ye, the king of Onlyville is going to throw a ball. And whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Singling. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. Olive said, he's going to marry me. Nina said, no way, Olive. He's going to marry me. Esme said, both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Later, Cinderella is so sad that she cannot go to the ball and marry Prince Singling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks Cinderella what is wrong. Why are you crying, Cinderella? She asks. Cinderella responds, I wanted her to go to the ball and marry Prince Singling, but I'm not welcome. The fairy godmother waved her wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! And then, Cinderella's chores are all done. But the fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, Cinderella, go fetch me a good old pumpkin. Luckily, Cinderella has one pumpkin. The fairy godmother waved her magic wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! Again, and to turn Cinderella's do-rag and clothes into a gown. I've never seen such a wonderful gown. I get a load of my glass slippers, and then the pumpkin into a carriage drawn by 2 strong horses. The fairy godmother said, have fun, Cinderella, but I will warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Singling was wondering who he should marry. Olive, Nina, and Esme said all together, he's walking towards me. But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Singling dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Singling was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled around Onlyville to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door of the house where her Cinderella and her stepsisters lived. He said, ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try this glass slipper? Olive is first, but her foot is too big. Nina is next, but her foot is too small. Esme is last, but her foot didn't fit either. Suddenly, Prince Singling noticed Cinderella singing. Cinderella said, Prince Singling, is that you? Prince Singling said, of course it's me. Cinderella gets so excited because she's having to have her Prince Singling back. And they lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story before bed, Hinder's Doors, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to my video. Take care. Bye and good night, everybody. Andrew's Doers. Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella 2 Wishes Come True. It's this. It is based on Cinderella 2 Dreams Come True. Once upon two times, Cinderella and Prince Singling were happily married. 6 months later, they are pregnant, but Cinderella is sick, so the baby might die. Cinderella's fairy godmother knows a spell that can cure her. She chants the magic words, Winnerly, Wannerly, One, and waves her magic wand, and the baby is cured. And the baby is a boy named Oliver. Olive, Nina, and Esme have a few tricks up their sleeves, though. They are complaining about not marrying Prince Singling. Another 6 months later, Oliver is almost 6 months old. And he can't wait to have his royal birthday party, and it's tomorrow. The next day is Oliver's royal birthday party. Cinderella asks, what about our gift, father-in-law? Oliver has now a magical necklace previously owned by the King of Onlyville when he was a baby. He needs to make a wish, rub the jewel on it, and the wish will come true. The King of Onlyville's messenger wakes him up now. Sees that Olive, Nina, and Esme are breaking into the party. He says, oh no, they're trouble! Oh, big trouble! He then goes over to the king and tells him, Your Majesty, your son and daughter-in-law are in trouble. The King of Onlyville gets so infuriated he yells, sound the alarm! The King of Onlyville blows a trumpet that the king's guards hear an attack. Olive, Nina, and Esme attempt to escape. Oliver said, and I wish Olive, Nina, and Esme are trapped, rubs the jewel on it. Olive, Nina, and Esme are now trapped in the castle's dungeon. And so, the birthday party is saved. And he, alongside his parents, lives happily ever after. The end. Andrew's Doors, I hope you enjoyed this story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And buy our merchandise. Take care. Bye. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella, with a bit of a twist. Once upon a time, there was a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 9 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, Naomi, Tilly, Emmy, Evie, and Natalie. All 9 of them made the 17-year-old do all the chores. 17-er wench! Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all! Said Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, Naomi, Tilly, Emmy, Evie, and Natalie all together. One day, the king on some of the Cunningham's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye! The king of Seven Cunningham, his majesty, is going to throw a ball. And whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Seven Coupling. But 17-year-old is not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. They argue over who will Prince Seven Coupling marry. Later, 17-year-old is so sad, distraught and upset about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Seven Coupling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks 17-year-old what's wrong by saying, "Why are you crying, 17-year-old?" In which 17-year-old responds, "I have lots of chores to be done, but I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Seven Coupling." 17-year-old's fairy godmother says, "I can help with a bit of magic." And where's her magic wand? Because of that, 17-year-old's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, 17-year-old, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, 17-year-old has 17 pumpkins and 34 mice. 17-year-old's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again. And to turn the 17 pumpkins into a handsome coach, and the 34 mice into horses, and 17-year-old goes into a gown and crown. 17-year-old says, "I've never seen such a seven couple-tastic gown. Get a load of my glass slippers too." 17-year-old's fairy godmother says, "Have fun, 17-year-old, but I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before." It gives her a clock to tell her what time it is. 17-year-old accepted the warning and climbed into the coach. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Seven Coupling was wondering who he should marry. Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, Naomi, Tilly, Emmy, Evie, and Natalie say, "He's walking towards me," all together. But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards 17-year-old. 17-year-old and Prince Seven Coupling dance happily together. But later, 17-year-old checks her clock. It's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Seven Coupling was really sad and worried that he might never see 17-year-old again. The king of Seven Coupling comforts him by saying, There now, son. I think we'll be able to find 17-year-old." And so, Prince Seven Coupling and the king of Seven Coupling began their journey. All around Seven Coupling to find 17-year-old and brought the glass slipper with them. By the time they arrived, they knocked on the door of the home where 17-year-old and her 9 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 17-year-old, they find her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters. Prince Seven Coupling and the king of Seven Coupling then say, "Ladies, we have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper?" Sophie is first, but her foot is too big. Ella is next, but her foot is too small. "Nonsense! It fits!" she said. The rest did the same. but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, Prince Coupling and the king of Cumlingham noticed Cinderella's sweet singing. The glass slipper fits! Cinderella gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Coupling back. And so, Cinderella, Prince Coupling, and the king of Cumlingham lived happily ever after. The end. And Andrew's Doers, I hope you enjoyed this story. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Knows Everything. And I've been debating on making some sequels to Cinderella. So if you want to see maybe someday Cinderella 2, 17 Wishes Come True. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Knows Everything. And buy our merchandise too at andrewknowseverything.com. Take care. Bye. And now, Andrew Knows Everything proudly presents 17erella 2. 17 Wishes Come True. A sequel to 17erella, based on the story of Cinderella. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon two times, 17erella and Prince Coupling were happily married. But Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, Naomi, Tilly, Emmy, Evie, and Natalie have lots of tricks up their sleeves. They can do anything to stop 17erella and Prince Coupling. Suddenly, they find a magical wishing charm. But it only grants 17 wishes, and once they'll be used up, the magic of Cumlingham will be gone forever. The only way to restore the magic of Cumlingham is wish away falls its water and fill up the charm. This gives Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, Naomi, Tilly, Emmy, Evie, and Natalie an idea to steal the charm. And so they did. 17erella and Prince Coupling ride horses to get the charm back. But Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, Naomi, Tilly, Emmy, Evie, and Natalie was the first two wishes by saying, "We wish we could stop 17er Witch and Prince Coupling, and we wish their horses will back them off their backs." That causes the horses to buck them off their backs and way up into the sky. 17erella's fairy godmother flies to help by waving her magic wands and chanting the magic words. Fippity foopity pecan pie, magic wand make them fly, which makes 17erella and Prince Coupling fly. Not so fast, said Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, Naomi, Tilly, Emmy, Evie, and Natalie all together as they used the third wish to stop them. But 17erella's fairy godmother and says, "I wish, my dear 17erella, those wicked, ugly, mean stepsisters will turn into stone." And then chants the magic words. Fippity foopity ice cream cone, magic wand turn them into stone, which the charm and 17erella's fairy godmother chants them. Turn the Sophia, Alika, Veronica, Esme, Naomi, Tilly, Emmy, Evie, Natalie, and into stone statues, resulting in Cumlingham being saved. They then fill the charm with wish away falls water, and all lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrews Doers. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Knows Everything. And buy our merchandise at AndrewKnowsEverything.com. Take care. Bye.